now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits, because another day above the dirt is always what? A blessing. Let's not forget that, y'all. Let us not forget that, y'all. We got a lot to talk about. I'm sorry I didn't get the chance to see you guys yesterday in a live yesterday. It was a little bit busy. I've been having some internet issues. It's been insane. I don't understand. It's like this ongoing saga with the internet crap, y'all. It's really, really bothering me. And of course, I'm a little congested, fighting a little bit of a cold. So that's also taking up a lot of my energy as well. But we do have a lot that we need to talk about. We can't ignore what's going on out here in these streets, y'all. And there's a lot of things that are going on right now. We got to get into that conversation. So please do me a favor. Before we get into everything, before we get into the nitty gritty, please make sure you hit that join button down below. Hit that like button down below. All right. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. Okay, do what it do. Hit that reaction button. Make sure you do that. And if you are watching me on other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, make sure you hit that follow button. All right. Follow me on all those platforms. Also, don't forget to subscribe here on my main channel right here, The Pascal Show. Go check out my second and my third channel, The Pascal Show Clips and Pascal Raw. Make sure you are subscribed to all three channels. Hit that notification bell on all those platforms so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because honestly, it is random. Okay. So make sure you do that. All right. Hit that notification bell on all three platforms. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And of course, check out PascalMerch.com. PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. Okay. And I do have a little bit of an update. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But anyway, guys. Woo! Okay. Yeah, this cold is definitely kicking my butt. I'm gonna be completely honest. But we got a lot going on today. Real talk. We got things that are going on. Trump is taking questions. That finally takes some questions on Air Force One. He actually gets asked about Epstein. He can't ignore that, right? So he actually does have a little bit of a conversation about that. Okay, which I thought was honestly very interesting. Then, of course, you got Candace Owens allegedly leaving Maga. She talks about leaving Maga, which is absolutely insane. You also got Marjorie Taylor Greene and Trump breaking up. Okay, it's like, I don't know. It's like hearing Outkast, going their separate ways. Let's be completely real. Okay. And then there's a whole lot more information, a whole lot of other things that we've been talking about over on this show today, because there's a lot going on. Okay. And shoot, I haven't been able to really cover any true crime stuff as of late. I might sprinkle some of that into this show. I might not, depending on time. Okay. Time constraints, because there's a lot to get into. Okay. Oh, and let's not forget, Trump and Bubba. What? Yeah, let's not forget that too. So we have quite a bit to talk about today. Okay. You know, the Trump and Bubba thing is very interesting, to say the least. Okay. I just, you never really know what's going down until you hear about things going down. Okay. I didn't know they're secret lovers. Yeah, that's what they are. I didn't know they were like that. I didn't know they were doing that kind of thing. Crazy. You know what I mean? The hits, they just keep on coming. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. Allegedly, Trump likes to rock the mic. I didn't know he rocked the mic right. I didn't know that. I didn't know he was the throat goat. I didn't know any of that stuff. This is pretty insane to me. Okay, pretty shocking. All right, but I will say this. It may be fabrication. It may be real. But nonetheless, this came from real talk, came from, see what I did there? Came from the House Oversight Committee. The files that they dropped. This happened to be dropped in there too, which is absolutely insane. Okay, let me just make this abundantly clear. This could very well be real. Even I'm side-eyeing it, guys. Even I am. Okay, because I like to believe the government. I like to believe I can't even say that with a straight face. I really can't even say that with a straight face. Okay? I really can't. But I didn't know, allegedly, Trump was all about giving a whole lot of love to that big, beautiful bill. Okay? Just swallowing the gravy. You know what I'm saying? Getting swallowed up. I didn't know that. This is all news. Sorry. Welcome. Good morning. Happy Saturday to all y'all. We coming out here, guns blazing, kind of like Bill with Trumpy allegedly. Just guns blazing. But here's the thing. All jokes aside, we got to take a look at this information because this is absolutely insane. Okay. We talked about it in a short. That's why I say you got to make sure you have that notification bell set to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, whenever I drop a YouTube short, because there may be breaking news that I don't have time to get in front of the camera and do all the editing and all that stuff. And I'm just giving you something straight from the hip, like how Bill Clinton did to Trump. Shooting from the hip. Dirty boys. Now, here's the thing. This is the email. And I know some people are like, oh my God, this can't be real. This is fake news, right? Or as I say, it's a fugazi, right? It's a fugazi, right? Now, here's the thing. This could very well be a fugazi. We got to keep that on the table. We definitely do. But here's the thing, though. What's interesting is that we have not heard anything from Trump at all. You know that, right? We haven't heard anything from him as far as denying any of these allegations. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. When it comes to this information, you'd think that Trump would say something about this for sure. Wouldn't he come out and say, Wouldn't he come out and say, that's not true. This is fake. This is fake. But right now, yeah, you took my line, you took my joke from me. But he's not barking at all. See, he's the dog that hasn't barked. He hasn't barked. He's not, you know what I mean, howling at the moon at this point. All he's been saying is that it's a hoax. He's just saying some blanketed response. It is a hoax. Hoax. That's all he's saying. But we have yet to hear him say, whoa. That is not true. Okay? The only thing that's somewhat phallic, a lot of phallic, that I've ever put in my mouth are hot dogs and bananas, but I don't think he likes bananas so much. Okay? He most definitely likes the saucisse, though. He does. He loves the saucisse. But here's the thing. Ain't that crazy? Anybody else seeing that this is crazy and that we haven't heard anything from him? Now, here's the thing again. Let me repeat this again. This could be fake. And yes, I'm having a ball. He's having some balls. I'm having a ball. I'm sorry. The jokes write themselves. I didn't have to write nothing. Okay, I'm just having a ball with this situation. All right. Just having a ball. But here's the thing. I'm curious. Is this real or no? In all seriousness, throwing all the jokes aside, this could very well be fake news that they just randomly slipped in there. Oh my God. I can't stop. Everything is a double entendre. Okay. But you get what I'm saying. Okay. Why would House Democrats or House Oversight Committee Democrats, them damn demmies, as he's been saying, why would they just, just spill this out? The jokes are just right there. I want to grab them, like Trump did in that photo with Bill. He just grabs it. And that's weird too. But those photos are there. You see what I'm saying? There's photos of this, y'all. I can't show you the photo. I can't show you that photo. You understand? Wait, actually, could I show you the photo? I can't show you that. No, I can't show you that photo. Okay? Let me just be real. All right? I can't show you that photo because it's insane. But Trump is literally, just taking a good handful of Bill Clinton's meat and potatoes. Real talk. I can't show you that photo. It's bad, but it's real. That ain't AI. That ain't some photo that just came out of nowhere, that was fabricated. It is a real photo. The inspiration to this photo right here that I showed you guys is literally the origin is that photo. He's just not holding on to his meat and potatoes. Okay? He's just not grabbing on to his sack of marbles. All right? But this is real. I mean, not this is real. I'm saying the photo that this originated from is real. Okay? Yeah, Nala. He used his whole hand. It wasn't like, still, no matter what, it's still weird. Still is questionable. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it was like, a pinky and a thumb. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just, ooh. You know what I'm saying? Like he was holding on to a thimble. It doesn't matter. All right? Period. It is straight up whole hand. It doesn't matter. He could have just been doing this. You know what I mean? Ha ha. In the photo, just a little touch, still weird, still questionable, still you want to go, yeah, OMG. You still go, for real though? For real? I'm just saying, guys. And oh, by the way, how often, fellas, this question goes out to the fellas, okay? Let me just do the whole screen here really quick. Okay. Fellas, and I'm talking about my fellas, okay? America, burpees, rifles, America, F yeah. You know what I mean? Let me talk to those guys really quick. Just scoot over to the side real quick, okay? I'm talking to that super hardcore alphas, or at least the ones that cosplay as if they're alphas. But here it is, okay? Let me just ask you this question really quick. When you go up to your friends, other men, straight men, by the way, do you go up and grab their weed whacker? Don't answer all at once. It's okay. Take your time. Because I know there's a lot of weird things that guys do. You know what I'm saying? Heterosexual males do, right? We'll pat. Well, not we. I don't do this stuff. This is weird. But the guys will pat each other on the bottom when they're like, there's certain boundaries that are okay in certain environments, right? So if you are at a football game or you are on the field, I'm not talking about the people in the stands. I'm talking about you are literally playing the football game or a sporting event. You are doing sports. You an athlete, you feel me? And they run around and they do the slap on the butt. It ain't weird there. It ain't weird there. Sporting events, that strange line can be crossed because it's a sporting event and it's good on you. You know what I mean? Hustle up, boy. You know? Good eye, right? Good play, whatever they say, right? And they're patting each other on the bottom. Never have I ever seen straight men walk up to each other and just grab a whole handful of their meat sack. I ain't never seen that before in my life. Okay? I've never seen that. I've seen wiener taps because you're just a butthole. You know what I mean? Like, that's weird. I'm telling you that. That is weird. Okay? No straight man should be running up to another straight man and going, wiener check. You know what I mean? And then they're like that really quick to your, you know what I'm saying? To your manhood. That ain't cool. That ain't cool. And that's wrong. That's wrong, y'all. That's wrong. How dare you? Okay? That's weird too. It's wrong, but it's weird. But when was the last time, fellas? I'm going to ask this again because I gave you some time, okay? By me just, I was filibustering for you, okay? So let me ask you that. New words for the day. Yeah, he was definitely filibustering Bill Clinton there. But anyway, here's the thing. When was the last time you went up to your boy, okay? Actually, you know what? Let me take that back. Scratch it. Let's go back really quick. Not your boy, but somebody you know. Because remember, it doesn't seem like they're friends. Why would Bill or Trump go up and be like, you got to look at Trump, you got to look at the Clintons, the emails. Why would he go and go dirty on them when there's a photo of him grabbing onto the man's manhood? So I would assume that they're not the best of friends, right? So explain to me that he would go over there, right? And just grab his meat. And they're just acquaintances. And what's wild in that photo is that Bill's just standing there laughing, just taking it. just I can't even do this show. I can't do this show no more. I quit. He's just sitting there taking it. He has his hand on on Trump's back, smiling, straight up smizing into the camera. Like that. He's smiling, but still, okay? While Trump got, you know what I'm saying? He holding on to that thing. Like he's holding on to a flashlight. Oh, man. This is real. Okay, so I'm just being real. Like, we are starting off with this show. Yes, on this tip. There's jokes all day. But here it is. Think about it. When was the last time, fellas, you went up to somebody and just went, what's up, bro? You know what I mean? Ha ha. Let's take a photo of this together. Ha 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 ha. You know what I mean? Ha 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 ha. When was the last time you did that? Okay, now take out just random acquaintance, somebody that you know from around the way, you feel me? And just put in your best friend. Male best friend. When was the last time you went up and just grabbed his weed whacker? Like, this is such a weird conversation to have. I feel like this is a conversation that the manosphere has. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean? It's like, true men, they make their money. They bang beautiful women. They drive fast cars, expensive cars. And when was the last time you grabbed your best friend who happens to be male? Their weed whacker. Sometimes you need to remind them that they're still men by grabbing their meat and potatoes, their twigs and berries. It just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. But then now you have this email. Oh, and ladies, I just don't see why you would do that, but it would definitely get a lot of guys into what you guys are doing. Just letting you know. Like, if you were going up and just grabbing your girl's hoo-ha out of nowhere Okay? Let's keep it a bean. Okay? Let's keep it a bean. Fellas would be looking. But apparently that's not gay if you guys do it. It's gay if we do it. But like I said, when was the last time any fella, ladies, I guarantee you, if you ever saw some dude going up to another dude and did that, you'd be like, wait, are they? They're not straight. You'd instantly think they're not straight for doing that. That's strange. It's not on a baseball field, which is still weird. Okay, because you don't see guys going over there and doing that. Okay, you don't see that ever. It was at an event or some sort that they were at, and he just grabbed the meat and potatoes. That makes no sense. And that was out in public. Let me remind you, that was in public. And no, that's not a fake photo. That is real as hell. So that's the reason why I keep wondering, is this for real? I truly believe this is real. This is literally in the oversight files. There's a file number right down here. You can go to the website, the House Oversight Committee's website, go to that actual number, and you will find it in that mother-loving trove of thousands of emails, and this is in there too. Now, we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about this for a hot minute. Well, not for a hot minute, but we're going to talk about it for a second. Okay? And to me, this looks real, but I could see it being interpreted in different ways. But that photo itself is weird. Okay? He went up and went, ha, 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 ha. Like that's weird. That's weird. Now, let me ask you guys this first, okay? Real quick, before we go into this mother lover, okay? Which is short. Fill in the blank. But here it is. Could this have been some sort of, okay, this is where I go. This is where I'm going. This is where I'm wearing my Candace Owens hat, okay? So just ride with me for a second. Could it be a situation where this was some sort of initiation? Some sort of initiation ritual? Think about it. Think about it. Think about what we've been hearing about Matt Gaetz, for example, that dirty, dirty dog, okay? He got caught, rightfully so, but he got exposed. And apparently these events, these horrific events that Matt Gaetz did with this 17-year-old girl, allegedly those things happened around other powerful men. Is that normal? Is this part of the ritual? Was Matt Gaetz on the docket to move up in the MAGA movement or in the conservative Republican side as a possible presidential candidate? Think about it. But he got caught. And so now his life is completely over. At least his political career is over. And now he's just doing shows on Newsmax, which I wouldn't be surprised if he lost his show now too, because of the information that has been revealed over the last 48, 72 hours. But could this be some sort of ritualistic thing that they do in the higher ups? I know that sounds insane, but think about it. Like you got to do some embarrassing thing so that we have that on you to hold that over your head while you're giving somebody, you know what I'm saying? Could it be that? Some strange ritualistic thing? I know. This is where I'm wearing the tinfoil hat screwed tightly on my head because we've been hearing more and more information lately that has been absolutely insane. And I think we all can agree on that, how insane it has been. And it all has to do with either doing stuff like this that we're about to look at or the email. We ain't going to look at that. Come on now. or it has to do with littles, or it's a combination of both. Remember what is going on with this Epstein file situation. Trump is tripping right now. He's absolutely tripping balls right now. Why is he tripping balls? Why is he tripping balls? Because I think that there's more to this, and it's much bigger than just Trump. And I think he's freaking out because I feel like there's a whole infrastructure. There's a whole breakdown, a hierarchy, if you will, a system of people that are at the top and people that are at the bottom. And people have to do certain things to reach all the way to the creme de la creme. And I think that those people at the very, very top, we don't see them. We don't see them on TV. We don't see them going up to the podium telling us what's going on in the world. We don't see nothing about them. They are the 1% of the 1%ers that are at the very, very top of this pyramid. We don't see nothing about them. Those are the people that are at the, those are the ones that are beyond infamy. And they pull the strings on how this world and how this country or this world should be ran. Yes, I said it. And I'm sure I'm going to sound insane. I don't care. I feel like we're slowly but surely starting to get more and more revelations, more and more proof, more and more truths coming out slowly but surely. And I think besides Trump doing embarrassing and possible illegal activity, because he hasn't been caught doing anything illegal yet, okay? I think he's also trying to protect, gatekeep. He's trying to gatekeep these people from us actually truly knowing what's going on. Yes, okay. Tinfoil hat now removed, but at the same time, it is absolutely crazy to me that we got emails like this, and so far, we haven't seen or heard anybody say anything about this, saying this is fake news and all that. And I'm telling you right now, we're going to go, I think it's backwards if I'm correct. Yes, it's backwards. I hate that they do this, but we're going to go backwards. So this is Jeffrey, okay? This is Jeffrey. Now, I don't know who he's emailing. From my understanding, it's supposed to be he's emailing somebody there, but there's another conversation that he's having with his brother, right? His bro, literally his literal brother, okay? Oh, and yes, let me make this abundantly clear. If you guys don't know who Bubba is Bill Clinton. That's his nickname. He also has another nickname, Slick Willie. I'm not kidding. So he either goes by Bubba, he's got that nickname, and he's also got Slick Willie. Not kidding. Just so you know. So when he talks about Bubba here, which we're going to get to right here at the top here, doing that thing to Bubba, he's talking about Bill Clinton. So here it is. Jeffrey Epstein, he emails to somebody, redacted, okay? All good, going down. Mark, his brother, writes to him, how are you doing? A while back, you mentioned that you were pre-diabetic. Has anything changed with that? What is your boy Donald up to now? So then he responds, all good, Bannon with me. So then it goes up here. This is his brother Epstein asking him this question. Ask him if Putin has photos of Trump, Bubba, Bill Clinton. Ask him if Putin has photos of Trump doing the sloppy Joe on Bubba. I drink your milkshake. I drink it up. Right? So, and I thought I had Surus. Don't even know what that is. So, you and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard. you mean Donnie T. So I guess he says, I'd rather be in Donnie D's shoes. And he says, you mean Donnie T. Okay. So Donnie Trump, Donald Trump. I don't. Now, here's the thing. This exchange, one thing is for sure. It is real. I know some of y'all think it's all fabricated. But anyway, fabricated. Okay. But here it is. All right. This is real. This is coming from the House Committee, House Oversight Committee. Let me just show you the number right here at the bottom. You can see it right there for yourself. Bottom right-hand corner, House Oversight 030719. You can go check it out for yourself. It is there. It is very, very proud and true. It is out there in the filing. This is not some fake news, some fugazi, but I will say this. What if this is just a hilarious random exchange of people, like an exchange of a conversation of them making jokes? That's possible. Maybe they're making jokes and just having a fun time. But I feel like, Jeffrey would have said something, would have reacted or reacted in a way, right? He would have said like, oh, no, yeah, no. You see what I'm saying? Like he would have said like, ha ha ha, that's hilarious that you said that, buddy. Ha 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 ha. You see what I'm saying? But that's not at all what he responds. They just continue going. They just continue with their conversation. Okay. You and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard. What? And it's like, see what I'm saying? So it's a very strange interaction. It's a very strange exchange between Jeffrey and his brother. I think that's very, very strange. But at the same time, like, let's just be real. Let's be completely real. At the end of the day, you have two people having this interaction, this exchange with each other, and it's now in these emails. It's now a part of the Oversight Committee emails. And then you see that photo of Trump grabbing freaking Bill Clinton's weed whacker. I mean, it's enough for you to sit there and go, things to make you go, You see what I'm saying? And that's the other thing, too. Somebody just said, Jose is exactly right. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, his brother knows something for show. Okay? Something is up. That is so strange and very odd. Now, I don't think that that's the only reason why Trump didn't want everybody to know what's going down here. Okay, him going down on somebody. But at the same time, he's holding back information because I feel like there's a lot of corruption. And I'm telling you right now, like I said in my other video, yesterday's video, let me remind you, this is a bipartisan situation. This is not a situation where it's just going after Republicans. Trust me, this is also Demis, progressives, independents, everybody. Everyone's a suspect, dagnabbit. Everyone. This is a bipartisan situation because, let's be real, Epstein had friends on both sides of the political aisle. Both sides. Bill Clinton was not Republican. He for damn sure was not. Just saying. And the other people that have been connected, or at least being alleged of being connected, yeah. Some are Republicans, some are not. Evil wears many masks, guys. It's not just dirty Democrats. It's dirty Republicans as well. That is the one thing that everyone needs to burn into their brains. It is not just one side versus the other. It is good versus freaking evil. Good versus freaking evil. Evil wears many faces, guys. Many. Period. And what's really jacked up is that we have a president right now who has been caught lying. Okay? You have emails where you have Epstein saying that Trump knew about the crimes that Epstein was doing. Here's the thing, though. Does not, so far, just because he did a little la, okay, just because he rocked the mic, allegedly, or, really loved licking on ice cream cones and lollipops, does not mean, okay, seductively does not mean that he committed any crimes. Just so you know, he didn't break any rules. He didn't break any laws so far from what they have uncovered. He has not broken any laws. But one thing he has done is lied to the American people. In fact, freaking lied to the world, and is protecting whoever he needs to be protecting and disgracing the multitude of survivors that are connected to Epstein and Epstein's disgusting and deplorable crimes. That is where he is in the wrong. And if he actually saw some of these crimes and didn't say anything about it, then yeah, there's crimes that are being broken right there. But we don't know about that yet. We don't know about that part. All we do know is that he knew about these things. He spent time, several hours with somebody, okay, with a victim. It apparently, allegedly, is Virginia Giuffre, okay, and that, you know, and that's it. In Epstein's home, has flown on Epstein's plane multitude of times. There's obviously more and more information coming out about possibly the connection of Melania being met or being introduced to Trump by Epstein, how they may have been, you know, close to each other on a plane on the Lolita Express. All right. The fact that it was notoriously known as the Lolita Express also just throws me off completely. If you even know the book Lolita, which is obviously has been banned, okay, it's a banned book. But if you know anything about that book Lolita, it's wild that that plane was called the Lolita Express. You realize that that's insane too. You know, it's like a serial killer saying, you know, oh, it's the machete. I don't know. It's the Murder Express room or whatever. You know what I mean? This is my kill room. Like, bro, what? Why do you call it the kill room, bro? You know what I mean? And it's like, well, I just, you know, I just play a lot of video games in this room. That's all. You know, I'm just straight murking on COD, on Call of Duty. You know, nothing but headshots. You're like, oh, okay, bet. Okay. Huh? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Okay. Instantly, I'm going, wait, before you're walking onto the plane, you're about to walk on the plane. Me, I'm sitting there. He's like, welcome to the Lolita Express. And as soon as I tap, not even a toe, I'm like, wait, what? It's called what? Wait, why you call it your private jet, your PJ, Lolita Express? Can you explain that to me? Wait, are there Lolitas on this mother-loving plane? I mean, I don't see anybody in here, but what are you talking about? Lolita what? I'm not on that plane. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not on that plane, mother lover. I'm gone. I'm chucking up the deuces. I'm hard peace sign. Horde. I'm out. Lolita what? Not like, oh my God, that's so creative. I love it. That's such a good name for a plane. No, I'm going, what the hell do you call that? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I call it my, I traffic cocaine on this plane express. What? Excuse me. Wait a second. What? You got blow on this plane. You seriously have wait a second. Why does this plane smell like nickels? This is weird. Do you really have like, you call it the plane that you move blow in express. So are we literally sitting on, like, is there blow underneath this plane right now? Like, I'm literally asking that right off the bat. Lolita, what? Do you mean to tell me that there's Lolitas, literally Lolitas on this plane right now? Are you moving babies right now? What the hell's going on, babe? What the hell's going on? I'm not going on this plane. Hell no. I will buy a Spirit airline ticket right the F now. Are you kidding me? I'm just being real. Okay? Are you really going to sit down to do that? I'm not. I don't care how powerful that person is. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I will drive there. It's fine. I'll see you later. If I have to swim there, cool. In fact, I'm not. No, we're going to go home. Because if it's the Lolita Express, what's over there? They're coming to and fro. You know what I'm saying? Are there Lolitas over there? No, I'm good. I'm good. I'll see you when I see you. You know what I'm saying? I'm out. Now, here's what's interesting. Speaking of I'm out, right? We are now hearing Maga is dismantling. Literally, it's dismantling in real time. Now, something I want to express to you and talk to you guys about, okay? Lolita Express. Something I want to talk to you guys about and express to you guys about is that people have already been jumping ship for a while. And someone has been the likes of Candace Owens. Candace Owens already explained why she was jumping ship a long time ago, but she even doubled down even more talking about why she was leaving MAGA. So we got to take a look at this, okay? Because this is absolutely crazy. And yeah, a lot of people are shocked. A lot of people are angry, but a lot of people are not surprised at the same damn time. Let's be real. When she talks about this, yes, the moment that Trump, Pam Bondi, the Trump administration decided to continue with a narrative of it's a Democrat hoax and try to point blame on everybody else except themselves, a lot of people that were hardcore MAGA started to step away. If you've noticed, okay, real quick, I just want to point something out. Have you noticed a little change in the comedy podcaster circuit? Like the Joe Rogans is and the Andrew Scholes is them, okay? All of them. Have you not noticed that they all have changed a little bit? Not a little bit, a lot of bit. That they've changed their tune quite a bit? Have you not seen that lately? They're all going, oh, come on. All of them. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene, which we are going to be talking about here in a second because she's a big story, okay? But let's be real. All of them are catching the wave of, oh, wow. Woo, that smells like ish. That is absolute cow manure that just came out of their halitosis mouths. Okay? Seriously. Take a look at this. She says she gone. Why though? Oh, damn. Sorry about that, guys. Hold on. Dang, I hate when that happens. Hold on. Try that again.
The Trump administration seems to have been hiding these emails. They're not good. Okay. They are completely indefensible. But I already told you, I was done with MAGA at the moment he looked us in the face and he said, what files? Right? What are we still talking about? Jeffrey Epstein? Pam Bondi said it was a Democrat hoax. No, I think the entire nation has been hoaxed by Republicans and Democrats, and there are pervert elites that sit at the top. That's my suspicion. We'll take a quick.
Now, here's the thing. Yeah, I was born during the day, but I wasn't born yesterday. And I think that that's the same motto and the same reaction that most MAGA supporting people are uttering right now as well. Even more now. Because now as these emails start coming out, which clearly have names in them, okay? There are names. There are names that he is sending emails to. Sultans and stuff like that. There is a list. A name list does exist. It may not be literally written in a black book, okay, in a little tiny, little cute little black book, or for you girls, like something pink and it's this flowery and it's so cute, and you write all of it in a little flower pen. No, that may not exist. A physical list, but there are names that are getting dropped left and right in all of these emails. A list and these names most definitely exist. They may not be saying verbatim criminal activity in these emails because they may know that, oh yeah, we're not going to say what we're doing. It's like those text messages where you're sending out emojis, right, to your dealer. Yeah, man, can I get some? And it's like they use random emojis, right? They'll use I don't know. They'll use a trumpet for that yayo. They'll use I don't know, a Christmas tree for that ganj. You see what I'm saying? They'll send a little emoji that has a piece of toilet paper or something like that, a toilet paper roll, and that's for acid. Something crazy, right? They'll use all these code words because they know for a fact it could come back and bite them in the booty, right? You really think that all these emails, they're just going to blatantly say, yeah, I'm looking for 12 to 13. You see what I'm saying? They're not doing that. They know better than that. They're not dumb. Okay? For a fact they ain't dumb. So they do as much as they can to cover their tracks so that they don't get in trouble. But here's the thing. Those emails do exist. We're now seeing them. 23,000 plus emails, y'all. Thousands upon thousands of pages of conversations that he was conducting with all types of different people. So in other words, y'all, let me just say this. For all y'all in the nosebleed seats that think that Trump can do no wrong, he lied. He lied to all of us. Whether we like to know that, whether we'd like to admit it or not, because I know denial is one hell of a drug. It's one hell of a drug. Never underestimate denial. Some of y'all are like, I supported you. You were the chosen one. And now he is letting the American people down. It is crappy, yes. But this, unfortunately, is how the cookie crumbles right now. He painted himself into a corner. Let me just remind you something here really quick. And I know that this is going to come back to bite me in the butt too, okay? But let me just make this abundantly clear. You realize. Well, Island Beauty, hold on really quick. The slow leak of emails is manipulative. Well, here's the thing. It's all, there's 23,000 emails that are out right now. So it's not slow. You can go check them out for yourself. They are literally on the website of the House Oversight Committee's website. They even have a backup link just in case ish hits the fan. They got a backup link, y'all, for all of the documents. So it's not really that slow, because who's got time to sit down and read 23,000 emails back to back to back? That's a lot of emails, y'all, unless you're an incredibly talented speed reader. Okay? But let me get back to my conversation, back to my point. Here it is, guys. Okay? Let me just say this here. All right? But how long have they had it? Yes, that's a good point, Island Beauty. You got a very good point there. We're going to talk about that in a second, which I am kind of curious about that too. But one thing is for sure. If Trump, let me just bring this back really quick. If Trump never used this as a talking point ever in his campaigns or in other conversations, in debates and all that stuff, if he never brought this up, we would never know anything. He would not have to deny it later. He would not have to deny it later at all. You realize that, right? If he didn't say, we're going to drain the swamp and all that stuff, release the files, Epstein was dirty, all that stuff, we would never know anything. So yes, thank you for lying. And thank you for bringing it up, because now we're finding out more information. And this is one of the biggest scandals of the decade. Okay. But At the same time, you realize that if he just didn't open his mouth and use this as leverage to get the American people on his side, that we would never know anything about this, and he would not be exposed for doing this and for lying and being a part of this Epstein situation. He painted himself into this corner. All he had to do was just not say anything at all, and he still did. You see what I'm saying? When was the last time you ever saw somebody self-snitch? You see what I'm saying? It's the wildest thing I've ever seen. I mean, we did see a guy who actually unalived his own parents, and then live in an interview, he said, yeah, I did it. It's like, what? That literally just happened. So he did self-snitch, right, in that moment. But I'm just saying, not every day do you see somebody straight up self-snitch on their own damn self. Like, you just don't. It's that's rare. Yeah, that's rare. And I don't get it. But now the stuff is coming out and he's floundering. He is losing his doggone mind. And I get it. But you also got to remember, now people who are sitting there going, Trump is the bomb, Trump, 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 they're all doing the same thing that Candace Owens already been doing. She said that same thing that we just saw in older videos. As soon as he said, what emails? I don't know what you're talking about. They don't exist. It's a big Democrat hoax. Y'all are losing your minds, gaslighting the hell out of America, right? Same thing with Pam Bondi, same thing with Cash Patel. Shoot, even Dan Bongino, all of them, okay? All of them were sitting there, just deny, deny, deny. In fact, I think Dan Bongino is the only person that literally like stepped away. You haven't seen him out here talking much at all. He's just been keeping his mouth shut. Why? Because I feel he knows that this stuff was real and he didn't want to stand next to this BS. That's what I think. But nonetheless, you got all those people lying, saying all of this is fugazi. It's fake news. And this is, this is the damn dirty leftists, those loser leftists that are putting the stuff out here. Yet those emails are extremely authentic and paint Trump in a very, very, very bad lighting. What? I mean, at the end of the day, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? What are you going to do? This is very bad for him. Okay? It's very bad. How is this going to come? Like, how is this going to turn out for Trump? There's been a lot of rumor saying that he's going to actually resign. No, he ain't going to do that. No, we talking about we are talking about Trump here. He's not going down without a fight. He's not the type to sit there and go, okay, I need to resign. You're right. You right. I need to resign. No, he's not going to resign. He will fight this till he can't no more. He will fight this till he's blue in the face. Because that's the kind of guy he is. And he will deny, and have all of his sycophants around him, okay? All of his sycophants around him denying. But here's the thing. His MAGA base is falling apart. They're leaving the movement. They are trying to start their own stuff. Real talk. Now, we got to talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie, okay? We definitely have got to talk about Marjorie, okay? We have got to talk about Marjorie. No. Okay, so here's the thing. So she's been on all kinds of things. Haven't you noticed that she's been out her? Okay? She's been out her, y'all. Okay, doing all kinds of interviews. She is, she's doing everything she can to get on the good side of the. I guess she's trying everything she can to get on the good side of the story. Does that make any sense? And for me, I find it weird. I find it sus. She's been out here quite a bit, and trying to look as best as she can, right? But It is interesting because she was Trump's hype man or hype woman. Okay. Like I said, this is like Outcast, breaking up, or like I don't know, like Public Enemy breaking up. You know what I mean? Like she was like his Flavor Flav, you know? Yeah, boy. She just didn't have a big clock around her neck. Okay. But she is literally like die hard, or at least she was die hard for MAGA. And now she's been singing a completely different tune. All right. And we got to talk about this. This started popping off last night, but this is from earlier yesterday. And we got to hear what she got to say. And she's been saying this ever since the survivors came out and were saying, we need justice right now.
Pretty picture of the Capitol there, and somewhere inside that Capitol is our next guest, making her way up the stairs as we speak. She's one of only 4 Republican lawmakers who helped force a vote to release all of the files in the investigation of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Now, the House is expected to vote next week on a bill to release the files after a bipartisan petition to force the vote finally got enough signatures. And all of it comes after a new batch of Epstein's private emails were released, a batch that mentions President Trump multiple times. Some GOP leaders and the president oppose the release of these documents, and the president denies any wrongdoing, hasn't been accused of wrongdoing. Only on CBS Mornings, we are joined now by Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Congresswoman, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good morning to you. I want to begin with the release of the Epstein files, the vote to release those files. You are on the side of releasing them, and you're on that side despite President Trump saying that only a very bad or stupid Republican would be standing where you are. Why is this so important to you?
It's for the victims. These women have been waiting, some of them for decades. I talked to several victims that were raped by Jeffrey Epstein back in the 90s. And so this is information that has needed to come out for a very long time. And the American people have demanded it. And so the American people deserve to see transparency from their government. Rich, powerful people should not be protected. That is completely wrong. And it's a message to victims everywhere, victims of rape, human trafficking, and children who are trapped in terrible situations, that the government will not protect the predators, that we will work hard to protect the victims.
So, Congresswoman, that all sounds reasonable. A lot of people agree with you. And so the question comes to mind, why is GOP leadership and the president himself so opposed to letting these files be released? As the Wall Street Journal put it, he looks like he has something to hide, even if he doesn't. So put on your political hat here. Why is he so opposed?
Well, I've talked to many of the women, and the women themselves have said that Donald Trump did nothing wrong. And even their attorney said that Donald Trump was the only one that helped them. So I'll just being very honest with you, it's something that I don't understand. I think it's a huge miscalculation. And I truly just stand with the women, and I think they deserve to be the ones that we're fighting for.
Now, I agree with her 110%. Listen to what she's saying. She's saying, hey, these victims are saying that Trump has done nothing wrong. I think that's a massive situation. That's a massive deal. What if Trump did nothing wrong? But what's really sad about this, at the times that they were victims, but what's really messed up about this is that he is trying to protect something. He's trying to protect something or someone. Why is he trying to protect those that did these bad things? Why not just go ahead, rip the Band-Aid off, release the files, let these victims and these survivors actually get the justice that they rightfully deserve? It doesn't make sense. Again, these victims said, hey, even Virginia Giuffre said in the past that Trump never did anything bad, that she had a very fine, very nice experience and time with him. Okay, nothing nefarious, nothing illegal, nothing. Why would he be going out of his way to suddenly shift gears and say, oh, yeah, this is all fake news and this is a Democrat hoax? You got several women saying this is BS and this is wrong. Why are you protecting these absolute PDF files and these absolute monsters. Make that make sense. If he has nothing to do with it, why protect these monsters? Make that make sense.
You can understand, Congresswoman, how in the absence of a compelling why, a reason from the White House, people jump to conclusions and assume the president must be implicated in some way. And then we have all of this new information that came out both from Republicans and Democrats. I know you were going through it as of Wednesday. I'll just highlight one email that's getting a lot of attention here. It's from Jeffrey Epstein in 2011, and he says, "The dog that hasn't barked is Trump." The email goes on from there. We don't understand the context. What do you make of this?
I don't know, not understanding the context of their conversation. And of course, Jeffrey Epstein is dead, so we can't ask him himself what that means. There's many conversations in these emails. There's tens of thousands of pages. That email in particular came from the estate. We subpoenaed the estate on the Oversight Committee. I'm part of that investigation. So it would be good to have further information there. But there's many people. And, you know, I've been looking at these emails, and I think it's a very interesting view into a world that most of us have never seen. It's like a kind of like a web of global affairs, business connections, a very high and powerful people, foreign leaders, and it's just an interesting world, and even the intel community.
It is an interesting world. It makes me wonder, and I'll just put it baldly, do you think President Trump has something to hide here?
I don't, because I believe the women, and the women have said over and over again that Donald Trump did nothing wrong. Even Virginia Giuffre said it under oath, and she wrote it in her book. And so if we listen to the women, they say Donald Trump has done nothing wrong.
So again, Donald Trump has done nothing wrong, but now he is doing all kinds of wrong by lying to the general public, by lying on these actual survivors. Okay, it's bad. And now Trump has lost his mind. He is going in. He is going scorched earth on Marjorie Taylor Greene. So much that he has now disavowed her, basically withdrew his endorsement on Marjorie Taylor Greene. You got to remember, Marjorie Taylor Greene needs that endorsement. Marjorie Taylor Greene needs that support from the MAGA side, from the MAGA movement. Okay, from whatever Trump has put together, unless MAGA continues to split from, starts to implode, which is basically what's happening right now. But he's gone to his own Truth Social, and he had a lot to say. He's like, basically, F her. She is insane. She is a crazy, stupid woman. These are his words. Let's get into it. So he says, "I'm withdrawing my support and endorsement of Congresswoman," he puts in quotations, "Marjorie Taylor Greene and the great state of Georgia. Over the past few weeks, despite my creating record achievements for our country, including a total and complete victory on the shutdown, closed borders, low taxes, no men and women sports, or transgender for everyone, ending DEI, stopping Biden's record-setting inflation, biggest regulation cuts in history, stopping 8 wars, rebuilding our military, being respected by every country in the world." And he also said this in parentheses, "as opposed to being the laughingstock that we were just 12 months ago, having trillions of dollars, record-setting, invested in the USA, and having created the hottest country anywhere in the world from being a dead country just 12 months ago, in parentheses, not so much more. All I see wacky Marjorie do is complain. It seemed to all begin when I sent her a poll stating that she, months ago, and so much more, that she should not run for senator or governor. She was at 12% and didn't have a chance unless, of course, she had my endorsement, which she wasn't about to get. She has told many people that she is upset that I didn't return her phone calls anymore, But with 219 congressmen / women, 53 U.S. senators, 24 cabinet members, and almost 200 countries, and an otherwise normal life to lead, wow, I can't take a ranting lunatic's call every day. I understand that wonderful conservative people are thinking about primarying Marjorie in her district of Georgia, that they too are fed up with her and her antics. And if the right person runs, they will have my complete and unyielding support. So basically, he's like, get her the F out. I want her gone, because she is one of the people that is saying, hey, what he's doing is wrong. What about these victims? Release the files. She's not the only Republican, though. More and more Republicans are starting to step over to that side as well. Like I said before, the MAGA civil war has commenced. Now we're going to have to see how this whole thing transpires, real talk. But you already know that there are going to be diehards, and we already see those diehards, okay? Mike Johnson, Pam Bondi, okay? And the sort, okay? But let's move on. So they will get my complete and unyielding support. She has gone far left, even doing The View with their low IQ Republican hating anchors. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. I mean, listen, this is absolutely insane. Okay. This is absolutely freaking insane. And of course, he is upset because the likes of Marjorie Taylor Greene is stepping forward and going, wait a second. Well, what about this? What about that? Asking questions that the general public wants to know. See, here's the problem. She is saying things that every person, she is saying everything that bipartisan individuals, this is all bipartisan concerns and questions. She's not saying anything that's just only Democrat. This is Republicans asking the same thing. We already saw the likes of Lauren Boebert, Nancy Mace, and others stepping over to the side of Marjorie Taylor Greene and saying, yes, we need to get these files released. Here's the other thing, though. The only difference between Marjorie Taylor Greene, Nancy Mace, and Lauren Boebert is that she's not out here. They're not out here on the TV. They're not out here on camera showing up to these press conferences and saying, yeah, release the files, release the files. They just said their piece online and they've just sat idly by. You see what I'm saying? They go, yeah, release the files. And then they run back into a little cubby hole, right? Because they're worried about getting exposed. They're worried about getting in trouble for what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing. Like, this is wild because I'm not a fan of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think she's absolutely nuts. I'm telling you right now, like I said, Jewish lasers, for crying out loud. Those things came out of her freaking mouth. Went online and said those things. Okay, you can't untweet those things. All right. But one thing is for sure, she's the only one. This is the one time I'm giving her props. This is the only time that she's ever stepped forward and showed that she has cojones. And she's standing on business, and she's standing on what is right. These others that have been stepping out, but they're not stepping out. They just said, hey, yeah, release the files. And then they go back to like Trumpian, MAGA-ish type rhetoric. She is sitting there going, no, what's going on with the shutdown? I don't support that. What's going on with these Epstein files? I'm not cool with that. Now, it could very well be that she was in her feelings. It could very well be that is true. That might be it. But here, real quick, because there is something. This confirms, or at least he's running with this thing, because AOC came out and talked about MTG. And she said this just about a week or two ago.
Here's some tea for you. MTG, people are like, oh my God, she's saying all of these things. Like, what's gotten into her lately? Oh, like she's bucking against Trump. She's bucking against the administration. Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted to run for Senate in Georgia. She wanted to run for Senate earlier this year in the state of Georgia. She wanted to be the Republican nominee for Senate. So she was gearing up for that statewide race, and Trump told her no. Trump said no. And the White House and Trump land shut down Marjorie Taylor Greene's personal ambitions to run for Senate. And she has been on a revenge tour ever since.
Now, here's the thing. Is he just taking that, what AOC said about MTG? Because we just read that tweet or that Truth Social post, and he's like, oh, yeah, you know, she's really out here because she's in her fee-fees about not getting my endorsement to run for a higher rank, for a higher placement in the government, right? And now she's just acting out because of that. Could that be true? Or is he just going off of something that AOC said out here in these streets? Could it just be rumor that he's running with? He is kind of messy like that. I think we can all agree on that he's messy, okay? And he sometimes puts out things online that are from like fake parody sites and stuff like that, okay? But that's something I think that's very interesting. But after he posted that Truth Social post, she went to social media, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she said this: President Trump just attacked and lied about me. I haven't called him at all. And I did send text, but I did send these text messages today. Apparently, this is what sent him over the edge, the Epstein files. And of course, he's coming after me hard to make an example, to scare all the other Republicans before next week's votes to release the Epstein files. It's astonishing. It's just astonishing, really, how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out, and that he actually goes to this level. But really, most Americans wish he would fight this hard to help the forgotten men and women of America who are fed up with foreign wars and foreign causes, are going broke, trying to feed their families, and are losing hope for ever achieving the American dream, of ever achieving the American dream. That's what I voted for. I have supported President Trump with too much of my precious time, too much of my own money, and fought harder for him even when almost all other Republicans turned their back and denounced him. But I don't worship or serve Donald Trump. I worship God. Jesus is my savior, and I serve my district GA 14 and the American people. I remain the same today as I always been, and will continue to pray this administration will be successful because the American people desperately deserve what they voted for. For me, I remain America first and America only. Let's take a look at these emails. Okay. So hold on. Let me just make sure. So I'm assuming this is the first one. And I guess that's her sending the text message. Check the flight logs of Epstein's plane. Bill Clinton was on there like 26 times. Hillary too. For many of us, releasing the Epstein files has always been for the women who were victims of Jeffrey Epstein, but also because we believe that Democrat bad guys like the Clintons were entangled and involved with him. Epstein was the spider that wove the web of the deep state. Lean into it. Then it says the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. So in every single interview I have done, I have defended President Trump. I said over and over, the women say he did nothing wrong, and their attorney says he's the only one who helped. I think that's very important information right there. But apparently, he's just saying it's a hoax. And the Democrats had 4 years to release the files, but did nothing. Stop ignoring the women. Many of them literally voted for President Trump and say so publicly. Them being ARD as teenagers is not a hoax. I think that's all very important information. And I agree, right? Here, that's what I'm saying. The fact that you got her saying, hey, she's publicly saying out loud, Trump did nothing wrong. That these victims, all of them have said he's done nothing wrong. And in fact, they would help. He would go and help some of the victims with their trials or etc. Right? So it sounds like Trump's being a good guy, at least back then. But then now when it comes to unearthing the information, he's not willing to do that. And he's taking it on the chin. Oh, dear Lord. Like Bubba. But he's taking it on the chin. Why? The only thing I can think of is he's trying to protect something that's much bigger. Much, much bigger than what we realize. That we even know. That there are multiple people that are connected and they're big names and it goes across everything, that it could possibly destroy the absolute breakdown of what the government is. Remember, it's not just President Trump or let's just say anybody that's up near him, the vice president or anybody in the Trump administration. It's within the entire government. People who are saying what we can and can't do in this country, right? Big companies. I'm not even talking about government. I'm saying there are so many other things too. And here's the thing, Robert, I think it's about him. And I think there's more to this. I think there are dirty Democrats for sure, but there's also dirty Republicans. And then there's dirty billionaires and all that. They all freaks, okay? They all mother-loving freaks. Let's keep it real. We've learned that we've known that about that for a long time. They party harder than rock stars, it feels like sometimes, okay? Except they're in a three-piece, they're in a $3,000 tailored suit, and they're, gesticulating like this. And acting for the camera, telling how you should and shouldn't be living as Americans or as people of the world. But in actuality, when the cameras aren't rolling, they going balls deep. It's crazy. It's crazy. But like I said, this doesn't stop here. And it doesn't stop with just Trump. There's more to this. And I think it's worse than we actually think. I think it's way worse than we actually think. I got to share this because I just got tweeted this. So I'm going to show that to you guys here real quick too. But as you guys can see, I can't show, they cut it out. But as you guys can see, this is what the Atlantic Politics and Policy Daily. Bill and Donald make a racket with old picture. The Clinton Presidential Library released photos of Donald Trump mingling with former President Bill Clinton. This is real, y'all. That is the real deal, Holyfield. Him. Great. Well, you can see it's suggested. How's that? He is grabbing on that weed whacker. Okay? Weed whacker. Period. Point blank. All right? Yeah. They're just as dirty as Diddy. They just don't have the Astroglide and the baby oil. They probably do, but you know what I'm saying. We just don't see it. Okay? That is the real deal. That is the real deal right there. And that was released. Let me say that again. Let me get that right one more time. The Clinton Presidential Library released these photos to confirm the authenticity of the photo. Because for a fact, everybody's like, oh, man, that fake, that AI, man. Nah, man, that AI, man. Nah, man, that AI. No, it's real. Oh, it is real. Yeah. Like I said, fellas, When was the last time you went up to your boy, hanging out, chilling, just, around people and just grabbed their nuts? Just grabbing their salty nuts. Okay? Mildly salty nuts, like room temperature nuts. When was the last time you did that? And not got looked at like, that's a bit zesty. You know what I'm saying? You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean. You know what I mean? No? That's not normal? Oh, I thought it was. I thought maybe I wasn't cool enough because that's never happened to me, and not never. And I would punch somebody in the face if they ever tried to do that. I'd be like, what are you doing, man? The hell you doing? You see what I'm saying? It's a bit zesty. And here's the other thing too. I don't know how rich people are, because rich people be weird. You feel me? Rich people are weird, dude. Rich people are weird. Have you not noticed that? The higher ups, the je ne sais quoi, the very rich individuals, they just happen to be just a little bit weird, just a tad bit strange. Have you not noticed that, or am I the only one that's noticed that? It's just a tad bit strange, a bit nutty. But here's something serious, though, okay? We have an email or a letter from all of the survivors speaking out against what has transpired as of late. This is their reaction. This is their response to what's been going on. And I think this is very, very important, okay? So we have got to take a look at this. This is signed from a bunch of survivors, okay? And I think this is very, very important. So let's take a look at this. Dear esteemed members of the Senate and House of Representatives, we write to you as the family of Virginia Giuffre and as fellow survivors of Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and their co-conspirators. We have the ability to vote to release the Epstein files, and with it, you have the ability to vote to release the Epstein files, and with it, deliver a promise the American people have awaited for far too long. We implore you to do so. Several weeks ago, when a few brave survivors stood before you and recounted their harrowing stories, many of you were shaken to your core. We urge you, when you cast your vote, please do not forget the horror you felt that day. There is no middle ground here. There is no hiding behind party affiliation. The testimonies you heard are just a fraction of the unimaginable suffering endured by more than 1,000 victims alike. Epstein and Maxwell's crimes exposed a double standard of justice, where rich and powerful men and women evade repercussions. Despite years of work to bring them to justice, most of Epstein and Maxwell's co-conspirators remain completely free, continuing to amass power and prestige, living without apparent shame. As you gather with your family this season, remember your primary duty is to your constituents. Look into the eyes of your children, your sisters, your mothers, your aunts. Imagine if they had been preyed upon. Imagine if you yourself were a survivor. What would you want from them? What would you want for yourself? When you vote, we will remember your decision at the ballot box. This last April, we lost our sister, Virginia, a true American hero and a beacon of strength to survivors everywhere. Her resilience in the face of immense adversity, the threats to her life, financial ruin, and public shaming inspired us all. Her courage brought this case to a monumental turning point, and her testimony exposed the lurid secrets of a global STing network. In doing so, she brought down a prince and paved the way for us to come forward and fight. Virginia was failed over and over by the systems that consistently believed and supported her abusers over her. Today, we urge you not to fail another survivor and deny them justice any longer. Embody Virginia's courage. Be brave and stand for her in her absence. Vote yes on the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Vote for justice, accountability, and the truth. With gratitude, respect, and resilience from survivors and the families and friends who love them. And of course, after that, it was there's a whole list of names, which you all can see right here. Whole bunch of names that signed. Okay. And again, this is very true. I agree 110%. This is a situation that definitely needs to be unearthed. The truth needs to come out. That's what I truly think. I stand with these survivors. I stand with these families that are trying to get justice for their children, okay, for their loved ones. I mean, yes, they were children at the time. I know that they're grown adults now, but you get what I'm saying, okay? I think it's very strange that anyone would vote against having this information out. All seriousness, all jokes aside, these women and these survivors deserve justice. They need that transparency. And if those people that did these disgusting things are still around, still alive on this planet, they're above the dirt, they need to be brought to justice as soon as possible. And I agree. Every single person should find out. This should be public knowledge on who votes against releasing the Epstein files. And then if you find out who they are, do not. If when it comes to election season, keep their names in the back of your brain and do not vote them back in. I'm being 110% real, y'all. I'm being 1,000% real right now. Don't let those people back in. They're just as corrupt as the people who did the crimes. It's basically them doing the crimes again by trying to hide that information. So if you can, and if you find out, get that information, hold tight to it. And when it comes to voting time, shoot, let them know how you feel by not voting for them. I just hope that whoever might be going against them when it comes to getting elected, hopefully they're good people, right? Because you don't want to take trash out and bring trash back in. You see what I'm saying? That's the concern I have. And that's also the concern I have with President Trump. I'm going to be real. Before we get into this piece, because he had a lot to say on Air Force One, and he was asked some things, and he tripped. He started tripping in this interview. He was tripping. He's mad as hell. All right? He's freaking out, guys. I feel like that's obvious. If you see all the text messages or the emails that he's posting on, not emails, I'm sorry, the social media posts that he's putting on Truth Social, the man is tripping balls right now, okay? He's losing his freaking mind, all right? Because he's looking bad. When there was an opportunity where he could have come out looking like the hero, he decided not to do that. So now there's a lot of people that are seriously pushing for him to resign. That's what's happening here too. People are pushing to get him to resign, y'all. That's crazy. He's absolutely spiraling, Debbie. Absolutely spiraling, because he's got the base losing their minds too. All of them are like, whoa, why would you lie? Why would you do all this stuff? These Epstein files are insane. You sucked who off? You swallowed up who? And his whole motto, let's be real, okay? The whole MAGA base is pretty extreme, all right? We're now seeing homophobic, racist remarks, etc., all types of stuff coming from the MAGA movement, from the MAGA side. Or at least these are the same people, okay, that are rocking MAGA hats, and then they're hurling racist and homophobic slurs at people who happen to be people of color or people of the LGBTQ plus community that happen to be rocking MAGA hats too. That's insane. MAGA has gone extremely hardcore, okay? They have gone off the reservation. They are in a whole other level of crazy, okay? And now you got these young Republicans listening to the likes of Nick Fuentes. You had Charlie Kirk first. Now you got the blunt force, okay? Now you got the sledgehammer, Nick Fuentes, okay? You had the little caress and the pat on the back from Charlie Kirk, and now you got the sledgehammer, Nick Fuentes. And he's taken over by storm. So one thing I'm very concerned about is that let's just say Trump gets impeached or Trump steps down and resigns, which is never going to happen. He ain't never going to do that. Okay, let's keep it a bean. He ain't never going to resign. They're going to have to force him out. He basically will sit there and say, by my dead cold hands. Get it? He going to do like that because that's Trump. I don't expect anything otherwise. But people out here are gunning and also demanding for his resignation. It's pretty bad. But my concern is let's just say Trump does step down. We get JD Vance. We get smoky-eyed JD Vance. Really? Who is basically MAGA 2.0? Are we ready for a MAGA? Are we ready for JD Vance? Just think about it. Just think about it. Something else. Something else. But let's take a look at this, guys, okay? I wonder if I can do the speed. Yes, let me see if I can do a little bit of a faster speed. Hopefully it won't be too super unintelligible. But I do want to hear what he has to say up here. This is him on the Air Force One. And he finally takes a question about Epstein, but he does not take it very well. Okay? He does not. Let's take a listen.
I know nothing about that. They would have announced that a long time ago. It's really, what did he mean when he spent all the time with Bill Clinton, with the president of Harvard, that is Summers, Larry Summers, whatever his name is, and all of the other people that he spent time with. Jeffrey Epstein and I had a very bad relationship for many years. But he also saw strike because I was president. So he dictated a couple of memos to himself. Give me a break. You got to find out what did he know with respect to Bill.
Hold on, guys. I'm going to play this for a second. I'm going to see if I can find a better version of this because this is trash.
Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knew, including J.P. Morgan shares.
Sir,
Yeah,
if
Jennifer,
there's
go ahead.
nothing
Go ahead.
incriminating in the file, sir, why are you acting as if
Quiet.
on Venezuela, sir, you've had a lot of meetings.
Did you see that? Damn. Okay, he ain't happy about that. He's like, quiet. Wow. Okay, hold on, because he's not happy at all in this interview. But let me play a little bit. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a better version.
On Venezuela, I know you can't tell us what your next steps will be, but can you say, have you made up your mind on what you'd like to do as far as action for
I sort
Venezuela?
of have made up my mind. Yeah.
You have.
I mean, I can't tell you what it would be, but I sort of made up my mind.
What do you say to some of your supporters who might not be excited about another foreign campaign?
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I can't tell you what it is, but we've made a lot of progress with Venezuela in terms of stopping drugs from pouring in. But we have a Mexico problem. We have a Colombia problem.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this better for you guys because it's bad. And then this has terrible quality. This is really bad. You'll see here in a second. It's bad. This is what happens when you're trying to go live, or you know what I mean? Trying to broadcast from the air. Okay. So this is not the greatest look, but let's take a listen.
In the file, Venezuela, sir, why are you acting as if
Quiet, Piggy.
on Venezuela, sir?
I think he called her piggy. I think he said quiet piggy. And then that's just crazy. Okay. because he's mad. But let's continue on. Let's hear some more of this.
You've had a lot of meetings on Venezuela. I know you can't tell us what your next steps will be, but can you say, have you made up your mind on what you'd like to do for as far as action? For
I sort
Venezuela?
of have made up my mind, yeah. I mean, I can't tell you what it would be, but I sort of made up my mind.
What do you say to some of your supporters who might not be excited about another foreign campaign?
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I can't tell you what it is, but we made a lot of progress with Venezuela in terms of stopping drugs from pouring in. But we have a Mexico problem. We have a Colombia problem, meaning Colombia, the country. We're doing very well. Drugs coming into our country are greatly slowed, as you can imagine.
On the tariff rollback, sir, does it signal a change on your message for affordability?
No, I just want to bring down some of the foods. Look, for the most part, the foods where we cut back a little bit on those tariffs, we'll get the price down, but they're not competitive in this country. Like tomatoes and bananas and things, we don't make them in this country. So there's no protection of our industries or our food products. So what we're going to do is we cut back. You'll see prices come down even lower. You have to understand, we've all suffered from the Biden prices, which were much higher than they are right now. But I'll be able to get them down even lower, at least a little bit lower, possibly in some cases a lot lower.
More rollbacks in the future with your tariff policies? Will there be more rollbacks in the future? Will you change anything else with tariffs?
I don't think it'll be necessary. We just did a little bit of a rollback on some foods, like coffee, as an example, where the prices of coffee were a little bit high. Now they'll be on the low side in a very short period of time. We're very good at this. The problem is we inherited a country when we took over on January 20th where the prices were through the roof. So they were up 30, 40, 50%. If we got them down 30%, that means they're still higher than where they were. We had a great 4 years, and I think this is going to be even much better. And in terms of affordability, it's not a good word for the Democrats. It's a good word for us because our prices are much lower and will soon be much, much lower than they were under the Democrats.
You said that's the president. My newspaper, The Telegraph, has led the way in exposing.
Are you the Telegraph?
That's right,
Oh,
sir.
what a job you did. What a job you did. Are you proud of yourselves?
We've had a good.
How did you catch BBC like that?
We have good sources.
Honestly, congratulations. You did a great service to a lot of countries, a lot of great human beings, if you want to know the truth. And exposing what fake news is all about, what BBC did, nobody would even think a thing like that was done. They actually changed the words coming out of my mouth.
So the BBC has apologised and retracted the report, but they say they won't pay any compensation.
Well, we'll sue them. We'll sue them for anywhere between $1 billion and $5 billion, probably sometime next week.
So you're ready to take.
Well, I think I have to do it. I mean, they've even admitted that they cheated. I mean, not that they couldn't have not done that. They cheated. They changed the words coming out of my mouth. That's worse than what CBS did with Kamala. They changed her answer, but at least they didn't show it, coming out of her mouth.
Do you think it's appropriate that British TV viewers have to pay more than $200 just for the right to watch television? Do you think the license?
Well, I don't know what they do in a place that I like a lot, in general, UK, right? But the people of the UK are very angry about what happened, as you can imagine, because it shows that BBC is fake news. Of course, you and I knew that for a long time, but we didn't know it was this fake.
Have you raised the issue with Sir Keir Starmer?
I have not, but I'll call him. I'm going to call him over the weekend. He actually put a call into me. He's very embarrassed by it. I don't know what percentage is owned by the country, but regardless if it's small or large or nothing, I can say this, the UK is very, very embarrassed by BBC, what they did.
Mr. President, you said that tariffs do not increase prices for consumers, but now you're lowering tariffs.
I didn't say they don't. I say they may in some cases, but to a large extent, they've been borne by the country. As an example, we have virtually no inflation, and yet we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars. So we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars. We've used tariffs to stop wars. You look at India and Pakistan, look at so many wars they stopped just by saying, I'm going to impose tariffs on your country if you're going to have a war.
So
in that case, it was nuclear war. And and I stopped it by using tariffs. But oftentimes, and to a large extent, the countries themselves pick up the tab. The companies pick up the tab. And I find that based on inflation, we have virtually no inflation. When I inherited the country from Sleepy Joe Biden, the inflation, it was the highest inflation in the history of our country, or at least 48 years. They used 48. I say it was the history. We have now a low inflation, going to be very soon even lower. But we'll get some of the prices down a little bit, which will bring them down to a new low.
How much of the tab is being picked up by Americans?
I think very little. I mean, I really think very little. If you look at it, that when you add the trillions of dollars that our country is making, when you add the fact that I'll be giving back $2,000 or so to middle-income people, low-income people, everybody but the rich will be giving $2,000 back, and you add that in, when you add the fact that our country is extremely rich and we have no wars and we're respected again, when you add the fact that when China was threatening to us in terms of rare earths, I was able to solve it just by putting tariffs on China, and we made a deal a week later. When you add all of the benefits, the single greatest thing we have right now is the use of tariffs, and I use them properly. For years, they've been used against us, and I think, whether you call them tariffs or anything else, if you didn't use them, you really would have an unguarded disaster on your hands.
So those $2,000 payments, will that be inflationary? Because previously Republicans have said that sending money to people like they're buying.
Yeah, well, the difference is this is money earned as opposed to money that was made up. You know, that money was made up. Biden gave like the Inflation Reduction Act, which did not reduce inflation, and it wasn't meant to, and they admitted it was a phony name. But they spent hundreds of billions of dollars on a fake deal called the Inflation Reduction Act. That was made up money. When I pay people $2,000 each for low and moderate income and middle income people, everybody but the rich will get this.
So again, you have like him, of course, he talks in the very beginning of this whole thing saying like, hey, Epstein and I had a fallout. We weren't friends anymore, blah, blah, blah. Still saying this is a whole hoax and this is a Democrat hoax and all that, just taking no accountability whatsoever. Okay. Zero, zilch, nada, zippity doodah, not taking any accountability and having no like basically saying, I have no connection to any of this BS. My name's Bennett. I ain't in it. Okay. But again, guys, like this is once again, are we really that surprised? You know what I mean? Are we really that surprised about how he's reacting? And of course, he's just going back to business as usual. Like I said, this is not somebody who's going to resign. There was rumor that he was going to resign. No, he wasn't going to resign. There's no way he's going to resign. He's going to fight this tooth and nail, or he thinks that this is going to be something that's going to be a thing. And then by the time the new year comes, no one's going to pay attention to this, but they will. Because once they vote, once they release the files, which they will, okay? Release more files, I mean. Once they release more files, there's going to be so much more information. There's going to be so much that he's going to look even worse. This man's going to look even worse. This is not going to make him look better. Trust and believe. This is not a situation where he's going to come out on top. Okay? That email, all the emails have just been absolutely nuck and futs. Okay? All of them have been crazy. And again, like I said, it's not just Trump. Let me repeat that again. It's not just Trump. There's more to this, y'all. There's a whole lot more to this. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to see how it all transpires, but it's happening fast. Everything's dismantling fairly damn quick. Okay. You got the likes of one of his main cheerleaders. Okay. Marjorie Taylor Greene stepping away. Basically, she stepped away from MAGA. She is now on her own. But this is the thing too. I think that this is what has been going on. I even said this months ago. let me just say this. This is more than just Marjorie Taylor Greene stepping away. It's almost as if, because once they did, see, everything started when Trump said in the very, very beginning, when they lied to all of us, when Pam Bondi said that there are no emails, that there are no documents, there's nothing to see here, everybody. There's nothing to see over here. Look over there. Don't look over here, right? That moment is when everybody, or a good portion of the MAGA base, said, what? Okay, we're over here now. Now they're trying to figure out their own thing. So Marjorie Taylor Greene may be the start of something new, a branch off of MAGA. You know, you never know. There might be a whole America First movement. Wait for it. There's already, well, I mean, this pretty much already exists, but it's not going to be MAGA. It's not going to be Make America Great Again. It's going to be America First. Wait for it. Nick Fuentes is already doing that ish. And if you don't know who Nick Fuentes is, I mean, I don't recommend. I mean, he's not my cup of tea, but you know, because, well, he doesn't like anybody that is not white. Okay, let's be real. Okay, he is a supporter of the funny mustache man, and yeah, he's not somebody I listen to. Okay, he's not one I go out and go, ooh, I need to hear what Nick Fuentes has to say. Okay, but he is definitely starting some sort of movement, you know. And right now, I think it's the phrase that they're running with right now is America First. And I have a feeling that the MAGA base, they're going to split. It's already splitting right now. And you see the likes of someone like Candace Owens, who's literally leaning towards who's already in the America First, right? She is an she's a anti-Zionist, right? Same thing with Tucker Carlson. They are not Zionists, okay? Zionists, which basically are supporting Israel at all costs, right? Support and protect the promised land, the Holy Land at all costs. You got the Tucker Carlsons and the Candace Owenses, okay? And you got the Nick Fuenteses, all starting starting their own little group, which is basically America First. That's the whole thing. Even so, they say, Nick Fuentes said this one time, he said, if you are Israel first, if you're a Zionist and you are all about just protecting Israel at all costs, then go live in Israel. If you're America first, then live in America. If you're Mexico first, then go live in Mexico. That's what he basically said. And there's a lot of people that agree with that. And that split started happening, that rift started happening right when Trump said, oh, this whole thing's a hoax now by the Democrats. What's wrong with you guys? You must be dumb. You must be idiots for thinking that these files are real, that the Epstein list even exists. You must be the dumbest people in the world. He was saying this stuff to his own followers. What do you think is going to happen? Instantly, people are going, ooh, I don't like that. Ooh, I don't like that vibe. That is not a good look, Mr. Trumpy. We good. And now you start to see back then that rift. Then here's the other thing. Here's what got even more crazy. Then Charlie Kirk loses his life. Speculation, theories, conspiracy theories started flying out the gates. People losing their doggone minds about all that stuff too. But what's happening? They saw how a lot of people felt some type of way about how they were treating his passing as well. Well, how were they treating his passing? They treated it like a WWE event. Come on, guys. Like they were sitting there trying to convert people, like it was a faith event rather than an actual event to sit there and, of course, memorialize someone that they say that they respected and highly revered. But instead, it turned into a WWE event. And then you got Erica Kirk up there saying, oh, I forgive him. And a lot of people were like, yo, that's fake. That's fake news. And I don't believe that at all either. So again, you got all that going on. And then you got Trump doing the thing saying that this is all a hoax and this is all Democrats lying through the damn teeth, and it's a hoax. You have all that being stacked up, right? And then now you have Charlie Kirk gone. So then you have somebody else taking over because people are like, well, we don't have anybody to listen to anymore. And it needs to be a man because it can't be Erica Kirk. We've been listening to Charlie Kirk say men are the leaders, men are the breadwinners, men are the one who do all this, that, and the third. And he's building all of his young listeners that are all men, male, probably angry, Republican, super conservative, and kind of racist. And what do? They go over to the likes of Nick Fuentes. They start listening to Nick Fuentes, and they go, "Ooh, I like him. He got a good point." And then they start rocking with him. So now you got America First going on. You see what I'm saying? You see, it's a domino effect. If Charlie Kirk did not lose his life, if Trump did not say, "Oh, you're an idiot for thinking that this is a hoax," and just said, we're looking into it, or when let's just be real, if they started off saying, "Here are all the files," and just be done with it, then he would still have his solid MAGA base, but he doesn't have it anymore. He doesn't have it anymore. They're starting to split off, and they're trying to find someone that they can be comfortable with. You see what I'm saying? Especially, like I said, they were floundering for a minute there when Charlie Kirk lost his life. They're like, oh my God, who am I going to listen to? You know, they're sitting there going, well, I'm not going to listen to, maybe they're going, I can't stand Alex Jones, gay frogs, right? So they're like, who else can we listen to? He's old. I need somebody young. I need to hear somebody else. And then Tucker Carlson has an interview with the likes of Nick Fuentes. And all those people that were hip and listening to Tucker Carlson start listening to the likes of Nick Fuentes in this interview. And then they go, oh, I kind of like him, and he young. Okay, I like that. And I need a young voice. So now they're listening to him, he's terrible. He's terrible. But they need somebody. And the people over at TPUSA, they're just sitting there going, please just be sure to donate. We need more monies. Donate. Don't forget to donate. We need the monies. We lost our leader. Keep on giving us monies. Nick Fuentes is sitting there going, you see the BS that they're doing over there? That's absolute BS. You see the BS that's going on over here? I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like that. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying. This is what we're seeing now. Look at what's going on the side of MAGA. It's falling apart. And there's a brand new movement and a new group, possible cult, that's now going to be called America First. Get ready for it because it's coming. And I have a feeling that that's exactly what we're seeing with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Because she is criticizing Trump for what he is doing overseas. She's like, yo, we got all these problems over here. Why aren't you looking over here? Hey, hello, we're America. You lead our country. Stop, canoodling with the likes of China and going up there and sniffing Netanyahu's butthole. Come back over here because we got some problems. No. Don't give us $2,000 and think that you can just pay the problem away because the problem's still going to be here. Come back. And she is saying that. She is saying that out loud. She's not the only Republican doing that as well. Wait for it. It's going to start. The domino effect has already happened. They have flicked over the first domino. Watch them all fall like dominoes here in a second. I'm being real. Okay. I may be wrong. Okay. But I am being real. Okay. Get ready for it because it's going to be absolutely nuck and futz. Let me get some of these super chats here really quick. Again, I appreciate all y'all for being here. That's just my theory. But I feel like we're seeing it happen in real time. And it won't be MAGA anymore. There's going to be a new movement. And here's the thing, though, too. It's like on the side of the left, we don't have anything like they don't have anything like that. Right? As far as the left side goes, there is no. I have not seen anything like where there's a, it's like the cool group, You know what I'm saying? It's like only the cool kids wear Nikes and the geeks all wear Adidas. You see what I'm saying? So all the cool kids are going to hang out with each other because they're wearing the Nikes, and all you nerdy people can go over there and just keep wearing your Adidas. And that's kind of what's happening right now. It's like, oh, okay, only the cool kids, okay, are rocking this look, but you got to be hip to it. And it's called America First. It's called AF, as full, right? Not everybody's savvy to it because you old. You're a boomer. Okay, boomer, right? But there's this new movement. It's called America First. It's coming. Marjorie Taylor Greene is just savvy. She's just getting ahead of it. She's just getting ahead of the wave. And everybody and their mama is going to start going over there too. Maybe not everybody, but there's going to be a good portion. But I'm telling you right now, the younger cats are going to be starting to go over to America First. All the hardcore MAGA supporters, young supporters, those young Republicans that were out there calling, saying all those racist remarks and stuff in text messages and homophobic slurs and all that stuff. They're going to start leaning over towards America First. MAGA old heads, the ones that are still trying to figure out how to make a phone call on their phone. They're like, what, how do I open up my camera? I don't know, baby, come here. Son, can you come here and tell me how to open up this damn phone? How do I open up the camera feature? I just want to take one photo. Wait, someone get my glasses. Hold on. What? I got to do what now? It's in the bottom right-hand corner. Wait, what? What's in the bottom right-hand corner? I don't know. It's weird. It looks like a camera icon. Look, it looks like a camera. Is that what I press? Okay. Wait, why is it not working? I'm pressing it. Oh, you mean press hold? Oh, my bad. So I got to press hold and then what? Does it take the picture right then? Wait, that didn't work. Wait, press hold and it opens up the app. What's an app? You see, there's going to be people like that. They're going to still stick around. You see what I'm saying? With the MAGA world. And then there's going to be other people that are going to be like, well, the new movement's over here. The cool thing is over here, right? It's like those that are still rocking to like 80s hairband music. You know what I mean? That stuff. They're you know what I mean? They're still wearing the crimped hair and they're just held on. They're like literally a walking relic of the 80s. They just refuse to move on. You know what I mean? But everybody's still hip to like, I don't know, Offset, I don't know, The Weeknd or something like that. You know what I mean? Listening to today's music, they're America First. Wait for it. Wait for it. It's crazy, but it's true. Let me get these super chats. Black Anonymous, thank you so much for the love. Remember the Terry Crews story? Sounds familiar. I know exactly what you're talking about. This was very, very earlier on in the show, but yes, exactly. Like there's some sort of initiation type ish you got to do just to be successful. I think that's messed up. And maybe that's the situation. Maybe he had to, swallow the whole thing, okay? And take a shot of the gravy just so he can be president of the United States. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I do feel like for people to get to a position of power, yes, there is that. Like there is that. Not everybody has to do it, but I think some people have done it because they run with the wrong crew or they run with the wrong people, wrong crowd, right? But we'll see. Jimmy 2 times. Hey, Jimmy. More than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. Oh, okay. All I want for Christmas is full unredacted Epstein files. Yep. Ooh, baby. I can't believe I'm still being able to sing right now. And I'm still like all congested and stuff. Okay. But yes. Ooh, baby. Just give us the freaking files, man. Just be done with it. Pretty Kitty, thank you so much for being a member for over a year. That's a big deal. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, andiamo. Jimmy 2 times. Thank you again. I appreciate it. Okay. Trump's cult knew he was a felon and PDF, yet voted for him anyways. That is true. I don't know about the PDF side of it, but we do know he a felon. That is true. Okay. All the PDF stuff is still just alleged. Let's just be real. Okay. They will still support him. They will. But I feel like it's going to be them holding on to a relic. Like I said, I think that there's a new movement brewing, and it's going to happen, and it's going to continue brewing over the next couple years because Trump's still in office. Trump is still going to be MAGA. MAGA is still going to be a thing. But here's the thing. When we get into 2028, when we start doing election season, there will be a full fat new movement. And that new movement is going to be some semblance of America First. They may not use that phrase, America First, but they will be coming up with a phrase, and there's going to be a new, young, sprouting group of people, new group that are going to want him out and somebody else in that's more America First. Unless, and only unless, he's still got 3 more years. He can still change his ways. Yes, I said it. He could still change his ways. That's still a possibility. He could still shift and take over the America First movement. That's still possible. But we'll see how he does. Here's the other thing, too. Watch what J.D. Vance does. Let me say that again. Watch what J.D. Vance does. Wait for it. Wait for it. Moving on. They will continue to support him. Yes, he has his diehards, for sure. He could be president again in 2028. Scary times we are in. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, though. Sure, there's a possibility. You know, you got the likes of Steve Bannon saying, if there's a will, there's a way, that we're going to figure it out. I just don't think he's going to make it. I don't mean like make it. No, he's going to be fine, I think. I'm talking about, I don't think he's going to make it to become, I don't think that's possible. That's what I mean. I don't think he's going to become president in 2028. I don't think it's going to happen. Definitely something to be concerned about, because I could be wrong, but I just don't see him getting that gig again. Not after all this. People are not going to forget this. And also, it's got to depend on what he does with the economy. He says the economy is better than it's ever been, but it's not. He keeps telling things that are not true, and that's a big problem. People are having a big problem with it. This is the reason why I think that the elections, recent elections, were so blue, that there was a blue tidal wave that happened, is because that's the people talking. The people are mad, and the people are not happy with how things have been going on in this country. And he's only been in that freaking spot for a year. So yeah, it's a big problem. Not even a year. I'm sorry, not even a full year yet. Okay? So this is a big problem for him. He needs to ship up, or he got to ship out, I mean. Okay? So we'll see what happens. Trump's crooked, and I'm here for it. Or Trump's cooked, I'm sorry, and I'm here for it. Yeah, he's definitely cooked. But here's the thing. Depends on how he spins this, because you know for a fact he is the king of spin. So I'm wondering how he's going to spin this. Again, I'm not talking about his policies. I'm not talking about what he stands on as far as like what he's doing for the country. You know for a fact, all I want us to do is win. That's what I give a damn about. I give a damn about people having jobs, people not going hungry, people not having to fight to get SNAP benefits if they need to get SNAP benefits. There's a lot here that is wrong. There's a lot of things that he's saying that's going great with the country, but it's not. I have yet to see it, and a lot of you guys have yet to see it too. If you see bread lines, literally food bank lines out a food bank's facility, and it's getting bigger and bigger, that doesn't prove to me that the economy is getting better. It shows me that the economy is getting worse, or the economy is just staying exactly where it was, even when he got brought in, even before he was inaugurated, that nothing's really changed. And now you got people who are literally trying to live off of just a few loaves of bread or, a few canned goods because their SNAP benefits are gone, right? And they're living beyond their means. Every American lives beyond their means for the most part, okay? The average American at least. And if you're seeing that bread line, okay, that food bank line only getting longer and longer, that should tell you something. That is a reflection on what's going on with the economy. That does not tell you that the economy is doing well. And then he's hiding things. There's supposed to be a full-on breakdown in October, and he hid that. He hid that information. That information's not out here. That's a big problem. That's a big problem. And then you add this on top of it. It's not a good look. It's not a good look for MAGA. It's not a good look for Republicans. It's not a good look for America. And that's a big problem, y'all. Okay? It's a huge problem. Right, again, thank you so much. A concern. If they are investigating Clinton for the files, then they won't be able to release the files due to under investigation, filthy snakes. We'll see about that. I don't think that that's entirely true. I don't think that's entirely true. Yes, he wants an investigation into Democrats that are connected to this whole thing. But here's the thing, though. Why are you doing it now? Think about that. I want a full investigation on what's going on with the Democrats and his connection to these Democrats and Epstein. You're just now saying that? You're just now saying that? You've had plenty of opportunities to do otherwise. Plenty of opportunities to do that deep dive. And now you're doing it now? Because you don't want to go down by yourself. Which is fine. But I say drain the swamp so that everyone goes down the drain. Not just Democrats. Because I'm telling you right now, it's not just Trump who's a dirty, dirty boy. Okay? It's Clinton too. And others as well. So drain them all. Expose it all. And may God have mercy on their souls. And may justice reign supreme. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. There's so much craziness going on. Haven't done much true crime lately. I may be doing something like that later on over this weekend, because there's some stuff that's been going on we need to talk about for sure. But please do me a favor before we get going, hit that like button down below, please and thank you. Let's see where we're at with the likes. Hold on. Okay. If you can get to like 600 likes, that'd be awesome. That would really mean the world to me. Don't forget to hit that follow button if you're watching on these other platforms, please and thank you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button here on my YouTube channel. Go over to my other two YouTube channels, the Pascal Show Clips and Pascal Raw. Subscribe there. Hit that notification bell. Set it to all so you know when I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. All right. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. All right, guys? Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. I'll be talking to you very, very soon. Much love to you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.